Howdy folks, how you going? Welcome to the bar. It's time for this month's version of, let's call it In the Brewery, August. Yeah, I know it's been Brewery of the Month, similar sort of things for a little while, but changes, small changes are afoot. So that's going to include a little bit of a name change. So that I know I've bounced between In the Brewery. I've done it before. It's been a topic I've used before. But from now on, our monthly catch up will be just called In the Brewery, and it'll be still backdated. So here we are, start of September. We're still doing August. Same as we were with the Brewery of the Month, where we were sort of doing them behind. This is still going to happen because it's going to be a bit of a catch up on what's happened, then a bit of a look at what's going, what's going to go happening going forward. And as I said, I'm going to talk short about some changes, but this video sort of needs to stay. I'm dropping the commercial beer content. I'm dropping a lot of commercial beer just in general out of the brewery. I've got to the point where I'm sort of find myself having too much lean towards the commercial stuff, not enough on the home brew side, and sort of a bit over that. So I'm trying to cut down a little bit on the overall beer intake, just for health reasons. Don't want to give it away altogether. So to make the home brew side of things still a worthwhile thing for me to do, and a productive thing, and still I said worth the effort and the time, I've got to come back to focusing on that fully. So these monthly catch-ups are now no longer going to have that review type of aspect to them, and that brings up the situation where those videos partly came in because I was looking to make sure I had a way of doing the monthly draw for the Patreons. I initially just started doing it, and I was just doing it on whatever the first video was of the month, and just tying it into the start of that. I thought that was a little bit messy, but the reality is, with how I'm going to go forward, it's not really going to work. So I still need to have a place to do that draw, and this is going to work, this sort of doing it this way. So before we get any further on that, let's get into the Patreon draw. Patrons are the core of the channel, and they keep the channel going, and they let me do all the playing around and experimenting and stuff that I do. So yeah, big thumbs up to the Patrons. As such, like I said, there's a draw every month. They win some prizes. Brian Kerr was last month's winner. Brian's over in the lovely Savannah, Georgia in the United States. So it's not quite so easy for me to send in stuff. So Brian, I have got a delivery on its way to you. Hopefully you should get it in the next couple of days. So keep an eye on your mail. Something comes that you didn't order, you'll know where it comes from. Just a second. This month's Patreon winner is going to get 2 packs of yeast, and this is new yeast, and this is something I'm going to be looking at in the coming little bit on the channel. This is yeast from, it's called Cellar Science. They're out of, I think it's Sweden. Yeah, made in Sweden. This is a range that's just been taken on by the Aaron at the Yeast platform. I sort of caught sight of it. I thought, oh, that looks interesting. Something I needed to get a couple of, some dry yeast in, so grab some. So we've got some California Ale yeast, which is just going to be realistically, USA 5. And this one called Nectar, which is a fruity type of yeast for doing, pale ales and IPAs. So I've got a couple of packs of both of those, so I can play around. And this month's Patreon will get a pack each of those, as long as you're not from somewhere outside of Australia. If you are, then we'll work something else out. So anyway, let's see who we got here. Everybody's in. Everyone's a chance. I'll pull two out. That's a worry. No chance they're both the same name, is there? Anyway, well, I've seen them both. I can't take them away. Reese Williams and Michael Green. You guys are the winners. So I will work something out for you guys. I don't know. You might get a pack of each year, so we'll see how we go. But anyway, that's that done. As I said, links down the bottom if you're interested. If you want to jump on, a couple of bucks a month helps out, makes the channel keep on rolling. But anyway, so going forward, I'm going to be focusing more on, at least for the interim, getting year of beer brews done. As I've discussed, I'm looking to get a book done which covers a year's worth of beer. So basically a beer a month, and I've gone through, and it's going to be my 12 go-to recipes. You know, the beers that I brew more often, or the stock, certainly the beers I look at more often than others, with two little bonuses in there as well. It was planned to be finished at the end of this year, so it was ready to go out. I was hoping to have it out so if people were interested, they could get it and have it for Christmas, and look into brewing next year. But the Twang Files just took up a lot more time than I expected. It took up a lot of fermenting space, took up a lot of keg space. So it's pushed that back. So I'm running well behind, and getting all done in the time frame was going to be a big push anyway, between trying to do experiments and things. So I'm getting back onto doing more of that. On that vein, I've got Scottish Ale in the fridge at the moment fermenting. That is one of those year of beer brews. You've not seen the video yet. No, you haven't. That's because I'm reverting. Not reverting, never actually really got there in the first place, but I'm rolling all videos over to being grain to glass. Same as I do with Extravaganza, I'm going to do it with all the beers now. I've looked at doing it in the past, and I've never really been able to get into a pattern and get it done successfully. Right now, coming off the back of the Twang Files and a couple of experimental brews, I've got a little bit of a backlog, or certainly got enough tasting videos still to do that I can fill a little bit of a hole to get us through to the point where we can start doing, you know, full grain to glass videos in every video. So that's going to be a little bit of a change, well, it's a big change for the channel. It's going to be a little bit of a change coming in the process of how I'm doing the videos and the way the content is brought out. I'm going to be compressing those videos a little bit, trying to make them a bit shorter, so the whole grain to glass video will become something that's easy to digest in one sitting, instead of having to do the one sitting on the actual brew day and then go and do a separate one for the tasting. Patreons will get a detailed, or a more detailed video on brew day of each beer, with full explanation around where the beer comes from me, and the thought processes behind the actual recipe. That stuff's going to get dropped a little bit from the everyday videos. Like I said, just make them a little bit more palatable to the general, for the general viewer. So I'm hoping that'll be a good thing. I'm interested to see feedback on that when it does happen. So at the moment, this year of Beer Brew, the Scottish Ale, will be the first grain to glass. So it's going to be about another 4 or 5 weeks before it's ready to be tasted. It's been in the fermenter for a week, so it's got another week, before it's even going to get kegged. I'm going to let it sit for 3 or 4 weeks. So we're talking 5, maybe even 6 weeks away before it's going to get done. So in the meantime, I said all these tasting videos I've got to catch up on are going to get done. It's going to be the final catch up on the Twang Files. People have been asking, is there going to be a wrap up? Yes, there's going to be a wrap up. So that's not far off. I will probably get it done sometime in the next week. I've got a bit happening. Hang on. Someone's ringing. That phone. Yeah, so that'll get wrapped up. So all the videos are done. The actual brewing and the actual individual brews have all been tasted. So I will be putting that together. Extractaganza will continue. I've got 2 Extractaganza brews sitting. One sitting here in the kegs. It's a Cerveza, and I've got another Cerveza sitting in the fridges, which have just gone on a cold crash just this morning. And they will be rolling along in due course. We're probably looking, I think it's another month before the next Extractaganza will be ready to do its tasting and then releasing its video. But the plan is they will still be happening hopefully once a month. So stay tuned on that one. In amongst all that, I'm going to still be continuing doing some of the easy extract brews. This is the latest one. This is the American Wheat Ale. It's gone onto the keg's gone onto the tap just yesterday. I haven't even gone near it as yet. That's nice. This is a method I'm really liking. So I'm going to continue with it at least for a little while. And again, see how the general response is to it, whether it's something that people want to see, continuing on. But also I'm going to want to see how the actual beers themselves progress, whether the quality is maintained or whether whether it fades off and go, okay, hang on, that was a little bit of a new thing that I've got to be wrapped up in. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so tasting will be coming on this fella. Same thing, probably about 2 weeks. I'll probably get a little bit more time in the keg. And see, it needs to gas up a little bit more yet. But yeah, that's where we are. So changes, but not a lot of changes. Things are going to look a little bit different just for the next sort of probably 6 weeks, while I get around to the point where the videos will start rolling on a regular basis. The biggest change you're going to probably notice is I'm realistically just looking at having 1 video a week, which I'm planning on probably look at just dropping on a Friday morning. That's the plan. And the only other video will be this, the catch up at the start of the month, so I can do the Patreon draw and just rehash what's going on. And I said what's happened and look at what's going forward. I don't know what beers I've got planned going forward from now. So there's an Extractaganza that come over the next month, which will be a Black Rock New Zealand Company bitter. What the next all grain brew or easy extract brew is, I don't know. I've still got to work that out. I've got to go through what I've got here and sort that out. But you'll find out soon enough. But anyway, boys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. If you got any comments, stick them down the bottom. Any questions, all that stuff down there. So Patreons, thank you very much for your support, guys. Big thumbs up. If you subscribe to the channel, thank you. If you aren't, hit the subscribe button down there and ring the bell. Get yourself notified. You don't miss any videos when they happen. And other than that, give me a thumbs up if you like the video. But for now, I'm Little John and I'm out of here. So I'll see you in the next video when we're brewing beer, drinking beer or talking beer. Good brewing. Hey, welcome to spring. But mind you, it's a fucking horrendous day out there today. But anyway, one parting word, fuck winter. Ciao.